Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Scream and Shout and Let Out All the Hate. We are here in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada, where we have witnessed certain people screaming at Nadia. And I thought, instead of screaming at her, why don't you just come to my room and scream at me? Because the look on her face, she was not happy. She looked like she was going to cry. And I don't think that's very nice. Especially people that go around and they say, "Oh, Christ loves you. I'm a Christian. I want to invite you into the love of God." And then they curse and say to people that they should kill themselves. And it seems that this whole kill yourself, why don't you kill yourself, suicide is going around. And I just don't know how to express how much it's not a joke. It's not a joke. So many people go through suicide, the after effects, the before effects, the attempts, the loss, the grieving, the courage. So this is going to be a shout fest. I'm not going to shout because I live in a house where no shouting happens. I tend not to shout. So, if you would like to come in and scream and shout and let it all out, scream and shout and let it out. Na 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 na. I won't be around. I have a phone call coming in. Hey, Gary.
Hey, I posted for a link, but I see it now. Sorry, my throat's still messed up. My tooth still hurts, and I'm not sleeping very well. But hey, I'll live.
Yeah, I don't feel too fantastic myself.
I'll live. I'm trying to eat French fries and put them on one side of my mouth. It's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I made this hangout because I was in Nadia's hangout, and Rev, Jason, was screaming at Nadia to kill herself.
Oh, that's too bad.
That is too bad.
Who was doing that?
Oh, Reverend News.
I don't know him.
I know him. He mostly hangs out in Nadia's room. He seems like an okay person. It's just his rage gets to him, like everyone else.
Oh, I can understand rage. Sorry, yes, I am eating my French fries still.
It's okay. I gotta make a phone call soon, so I just made this room to say that it's not okay to scream and shout
I
and
mean,
let out all your hate.
is it a hangout ending phone call or what?
No, I'll be on the phone and then I'll come back to my hangout.
Yeah, because a lot of people just say, "Give me a minute," make the phone call, talk for a while, and they're back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm all for that. I don't need to be engaged the whole time. In fact, we can go silent for a while, and that will be okay too. Now, I'm not familiar with either the guy or the hangout because I wasn't there at all. But I certainly understand that kind of behavior.
Well, it seems that this whole joke about suicide is going around a lot. Like, just this morning, Amiya, a little Christian boy that's 13, said to Brojo, "Oh, why don't you shoot yourself in the head?"
Huh. That's a well, from a little kid is one thing, but if you have adults saying it to people who aren't exactly stable, I
Older.
think stable is a good way to put it. Um, you might get surprised one day and be the straw. I refuse to be the straw that sends that person to death. I'm not going to do that.
I, because I've tried to kill myself several times, I've never said to someone, only one person have I said it to. I threw a bottle of pills at them and I said, "Why don't you swallow the whole thing then?" But I was really heartless at that time in my life and I regret it. I even apologized to that person.
Yeah, see, and there's a big difference. You know, I'm I haven't even had a friend kill themselves, but that just means I've been friendless. You know, high school was a small high school. In town, a few kids killed themselves, but it was also the 70s and wasn't quite as prevalent.
70s, I see.
And I don't know, that
Oh, my friend's telling me to call her. So I'll
all,
be right back.
all right, I'll be right here. Mute yourself, and I will mute myself.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Figured you'd come back yesterday, shoved 5 fries in my mouth.
Oh, face full of food.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know everyone loses their temper, and I believe that the person that I was referring to when he told Nadia to kill herself because she was just a waste. Um, because I said to him, that's not very Christian of you to be swearing and saying that to her. And he's like, well, I'm not a Christian right now. And
Well,
I
yeah,
didn't know you could take time off in being a Christian.
you can't look up at God and say, time out. I hope I don't die in the next 10 seconds because I'm not a Christian.
Yeah.
I don't think it works that way. I can understand saying something like, and I have said, well, I'm not feeling very Christian right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it just makes me think of that song. Scream and shout and let it all out. Let's scream and shout and let it out.
Well,
Na 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 na.
I don't know the song. I'm sorry.
Me either. That's all I remember is that stupid chorus.
That's more than I have. When I'm in the car, I have 2 things that I listen to. The news on like a news talk radio. Usually though, there's a couple of Christian news talk radios. They cover everything, but they do it from a religious standpoint, which I like. I listen to them, or I listen to preaching. There's a number of pastors that just talk about whatever they talked about Sunday. I like that. Hello, Mr. Smasher.
Good evening, y'all. How's it going?
Just fine.
Lindsay, how are you? I hadn't seen you in quite some time.
I've been feeling like shit lately, actually.
Oh, lovely.
The smile that I have on now is forced.
Is it really? Don't do that. You don't have to force a smile around me. I don't know about the Idol Smasher, but I don't know his real. I don't know what he wants me to call him.
Smile or smile, smile, smile. Darn it. And it better be natural.
Yeah, I don't know what he wants me to call him, but as much for me, I would say there's no need to smile if you don't feel like it. I mean, I wouldn't be smiling. I'm not smiling right now, but it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with my tooth.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing, James? I haven't talked to you in a while either.
There's the answer.
Not so bad. Getting things ready here at the house before I do my Dr. Demento party tonight. I had been with Jello Shots and Brother John. And we were talking about radio in the old days. Like, remember when you could get your friends to to turn on the radio and you could just listen to Dr. D all night long?
Yeah.
No,
I thought,
I'm too young for that.
probably. But he's still making shows. You can download them. So I get his stuff, and I thought, well, why not? Let's see if anybody shows up. Maybe we might get some laughs.
Yeah, and if not Dr. D, there were all kinds of shows like that. You'd get together. People would say, "Hey, man, if we're not doing anything tonight, you want to come over and listen to?" And everybody'd come over, and we'd turn that on. I don't know how much listening we really did, but it was something in the background and a reason to get together to party.
It's fun stuff.
Yep.
Lindsay, if you don't know Dr. Demento, he's the one where Weird Al Yankovic got his start. He plays zany, funny, out of line,
Right.
where he's very respectful, but still it's some good zany stuff.
Oh, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pop in with my cuddle buddy later.
Cool.
You can meet her. Christopher. It's
I got the
so weird.
kids right now, so they're.
I always thought Frank Zappa was in there too.
Yep.
But Zappa was a little bit harder to get, I guess. A lot of people just never really got him. That doesn't mean I'm somehow superior than him. It just means that I was higher.
You get it. I get Zappa. I really do like Zappa. Some of his stuff's a little, I can't agree with everybody all the time, but
Yeah.
musically he was a genius, and lyrically he was rather brilliant and funny.
I saw him once too.
Really?
Yeah, he was at Illinois State University. You know where? I don't remember what song it is now. Where he says he's gathering up the panties of all the women, and the women are handing their panties up to the stage. One of his live albums. But that song was recorded at there.
That's funny.
It was funny at the time. Of course, I drank a fifth of something, and probably should have been dead. I was right on the balcony edge, and I think you know what happened.
Ay, ay, ay.
It was a quart. I'm sorry, not a quart. It was a hip flask, and I just chugged it in front of this security guy. Found it and went to throw it away. I said, "Is it the same if I just drink it?" He goes, "If you can drink all of that, you can have it." And I did. And he looked at me. He goes, "You're gonna be a mess." And he went on, and I was, and I did what I just talked about over the rail, and I didn't get killed or anything. Of course, I ran away, but it was a good time anyway, and it wasn't something I'm stupendously proud of, except for being at the Zappa show. The rest of it is a different thing.
Oh man, my hangout is so boring. No offense to you guys who come to the boring hangout. I'm saying that you guys are boring. No, I'm not saying you're boring. I'm saying I'm boring as a host.
Sweetheart, you have two people here. That would be a record for me.
Well, hi, honey. My wifey just got home.
Hey, there he is. I wish I could show you guys me, but it's broken.
Oh, bummer.
Let's
Hey,
try it.
Gabriel.
Let's try it again. Hey, Gab. Let's try it again. Maybe I can make this thing work this time.
Oh, honey. You have a bottle right there in front of you. You don't need to be all that. No, you don't.
Yeah, it's probably not working.
I like the picture of you and your wife, right? Gabriel, is that it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, first time I saw her, I called her, what? A Sabra. Oops. I didn't know.
Yeah. She's from New Jersey.
So that pretty much, means no soberness. That'll work.
Now we'll have dinner?
Okay, there. I think it kind of worked.
Oh my god.
I know she was eating cookies. She hadn't even been out there too long.
I like your beard, Gary.
Well, thank you. I like my beard, too. I haven't shaved since I was 16. Completely, at least. I've taken it off except the mustache.
Oh, okay.
I gotta run. His wifey needs help with stuff. I'll be back if I can.
Righto. So, what's going on? What's happening?
Not much. Just woke up a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Kind of taking in my coffee.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people do that. Don't do coffee. But I'm weird. I know it. Because it's blinding me. I can't do this. Yeah.
Well, I made this hangout. Hey, Kiz. Nice to see you.
Hey there.
Are you gonna scream and shout and let out all the hate?
I don't know.
That's the title of the room.
Yeah, I don't know him either. In any case, I'm Gary. I'm
Hey,
West.
Gary.
The pain meds may make me stupid.
If Patrick Fiesta comes in here, I'm going to eject him because I just don't like him.
You have the magic button.
Why would he come in here if you don't like him?
Because he added me to his circles after I told him that he was an acquired taste, and the majority of the time I don't like him.
Huh.
And now he always invites me to his hangouts.
How old is he? You know, when you were a kid, you always assumed that the girl that hit you and all that stuff loved you.
Oh, he's old.
Kid.
He's in his 50s.
And then you're nifty.
I'm nifty. I'm in my 50s. It can be hard. Yeah, but I
always love it how you don't have a shirt on, kids. I wish I could do that, but then my shirt would get flagged.
There. I'm not as I'm kind of, fat. In fact, I am fat, not kind of. But, there, I don't have my shirt on.
Oh, damn you guys.
I still very much have my shirt on.
Oh, thanks, Gabrielle.
So you're finally out, right, Gav?
As of last Saturday night, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you just have to be a reservist for a little while.
Yeah, I am. They'll call me up once a year until I turn 40. Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Well, at least you live in full of history country. Somebody said to me, where would you want to go in the Middle East? I'm like, not Egypt. I'm like, probably Israel. And they said, why? I'm like, because then I can beat up Gabrielle. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you probably could. I'm tired and I'm already getting out of shape. It only took a week.
Round is a shape.
That's what I tell people. Round is a shape, and I'm in perfect shape.
I was round before I got drafted. Then I went into the Army, and I was in really good shape for a long time, and now I'm round again. So
It only bothers me if it bothers me. So I just don't let it bother me.
Sorry, my cell phone's going off.
I wish I had a ringtone like that.
Mine sounds like mine's the Price is Right music from the 70s.
Oh, I like the 70s. That's my era. I have to have a loud noise, or I never hear it.
My cat is like under the covers. I can hear him purring.
Yep,
It's like vibrations. He just loves to cuddle. Here, I'll show you what it looks like.
yeah, my cat's not a cuddler, but she's under somewhere purring. I can hear her.
Yeah, you hear this.
There you go. Well, right. Very nice.
This is Chewy, short for Chewbacca.
Right. Hey, little Chewy. I think there's some stuff on Think Geek, a website that sells geeky stuff, and there's others. I got a whole lot of them. Think Geek's the more expensive one. It's just the one that, never mind. But they have a bunch of new Star Wars stuff. I couldn't help myself. I had to get a Stormtrooper steering wheel cover for my.
Ooh. I'm a Star Wars fan.
It's very nice. People see it and go, "How old are you?" Come on, man. That's cool. Deal with it.
Someone's saying someone's too old or too young or too whatever for Star Wars. Okay.
My nickname in high school was Star Wars.
Oh, hold on, I got a phone call.
I always wore T-shirts and all that stuff every day. I don't think I ever wore a non-Star Wars T-shirt to school, and everybody, including my teachers, called me Star Wars. So of course I got a steering wheel cover.
I am so looking forward to the next movie. I'm just really. I mean, when I first saw the first trailer, the first teaser trailers for it, I was like, oh no. But then they showed the others, and I was hooked. I'm so glad that Lucas has nothing to do with these.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I'm not all super excited. I wish that I had kept the theatrical release of the first three. What they sell now isn't quite right.
The only things that I think were improvements were some of the backgrounds where you could see, you know, they have more ships, they have those. But everything else that they decided to add extra CG to, like, the Jabba the Hutt scene was horrible. That was just awful. And then in Empire Strikes Back, they, when I mean in Star Wars, the Episode 4, they inserted Jabba into Star Wars 4. And then in 5, Empire Strikes Back, they even changed some of the dialogue between Luke Skywalker and R2-D2 when they were in the swamp.
Right.
They even changed some of his dialogue. I'm like, what was wrong with the way it was? And then, of course, there's in Return of the Jedi, when they make Darth Vader look like they don't show him as old like he was before he died. They show him as this young character from before he switched to the dark side. And it's just like, oh, come on now.
I know. A lot of my friends asked me why I was not so happy with them because, you know, me being Star Wars. I would tell them quite simply, didn't he make enough money with the originals? Weren't they good enough to make the money then? Just leave them alone.
I guess his whole thing was he wanted the story to be, you know, from 1 through 6, he wanted it to seem like all part of the same.
Oh, I know.
Instead of having a separate feel, and I get what he was going for, but I think he went too far.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do too, and I know what he was trying for, but I think he tried too hard.
Now, like what he did to THX 1138, that was good.
I refuse to see the new one, so I guess I will.
Hmm?
I have not yet seen the redoing of it.
It was actually pretty good. The only thing I didn't like was right near the end. I mean, have you seen the movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. Near the end, when he was when THX was about to start going up the long ladder.
Right.
There are some scenes where you're supposed to be seeing some creatures or people that might have been close to getting to the surface. And so they showed these CG monsters crawling on the ceiling for a moment. I'm like, oh, come on, that's going a little far. But the thing that was much better about this version is it showed how catastrophic it was if someone made a mistake when they were working on the officers. I mean, it was catastrophic. I mean, horrible. And you didn't get to have a sense of that in the original release. They didn't have the budget to be able to do it. So, you know, showing the extent of, I mean, it could kill thousands of people if they make one mistake, you know. I thought that was a good addition.
I guess I'll watch it. I haven't. And that's THX 1138, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and they didn't change the name or anything. It's just a remake.
No. I mean, they just added. They didn't remake it, but they enhanced it.
That's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually that's my favorite movie from Lucas. Actually, is THX. My favorite Star Wars movie was the one that he wasn't involved in, which was Empire Strikes Back. They had a completely different director for that one.
Yeah.
And that's the one I liked the most because he didn't have any of that kid-friendly thing going on, you know?
Yeah, his daughters really screwed up those movies. Yep. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can find it on Netflix.
God, kid-friendly movies. That's the dumbest idea.
It sure is.
Imagine if they made a kid-friendly version of Game of Thrones. It would be 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
Well, no. The way that they do it is, well, you have to you keep all the other scenes, but you have to add something that's I don't know what the right word is. Fruity. You have to put some scene that's you know, put a cute animal somewhere in there for no reason. Just put it in a scene there.
The horses have been cuter and less, you know, like fighters. All right. Finally got here. Took me a while to remember my password. Next search. Everything has to be so small. I gotta turn the resolution of my computer back. It's something I can see. I give up. I don't know what I just did. I'm sorry, I have failed. So I'll be fine. I'll look later. Maybe after they fill my tooth, I won't be as stupid. But
What's wrong with your tooth?
a year and a half ago, I had it filled by a dentist here who would take my insurance only instead of charging me lots more than my insurance. Most of them are, the cheapest one I found was double. So my insurance paid and then I paid the same amount. So I went to him thinking, well, I hope he's not that bad. The filling fell out about, well, just over a year it had been in. I went back there. He says, too bad. I said, too bad what? I just want to know. And he looked it over. He goes, it was all your fault, not my fault. I said, I'm not suing you. Just fix my damn tooth so it doesn't hurt. And he kept going like that. And I finally said, all right. And I left. This is a very... and then I waited too long, damn it. Figured it's not hurting. Oh, wait. Now I gotta find a dentist. Well, I've got a good light on one. A lot of weird people around here. I guess that took the
I
light
haven't
out.
been to the dentist in a while.
Well, I admit I hadn't been either. You know, brush my teeth at least. I don't know. I just don't have. I guess I just don't have good teeth. Because I try to take care of them. I know that I don't take the best care of them, but better than them getting. Better than the condition they're in.
Bewildered Ape just said, told me, oh, gay men are insanely more pedophilic than any other group of people. Good job, Bewildered Ape. Good job.
Well, that would bewilder me too if I were an ape.
Yeah, I've been having some scuffles with Bewildered Ape and Jenny McDermott, and yeah. First, Jenny McDermott said that because I'm gay, that's why she thinks I'm misogynistic, but I'm not. But she says because I'm gay, that means that's why I'm misogynistic, because being gay leads to misogyny, is what she's saying now. It's like, really? You're going there? So.
Well, I don't know her. In fact, I don't know a lot of people. I don't know. I either don't see the hangouts, or I don't know. No, people invite me. They tell me. I can't say they didn't. I just must be missing them all.
Well, it's fortunate. It's best that you don't see her stuff.
Well, there's many times where I say to myself, yeah, it's probably better considering the way people are having to do things. I got one guy that follows me around though, Tony Patango. Tells me that I flee from his from the very sight of him because he knows he really has me. I leave, sure, but I only leave when it becomes so clear that you will do anything to not agree with me.
Yeah, there's some people that yeah. Yep.
I mean, I'll at least consider things. Of course, if I've heard them 1,000 times, I'll say that too. But I don't know. But I guess I wouldn't mind. I know that when this stuff was first being pretty popular, I was a bit hot-headed, more hot-headed than now. It wasn't a lot of fun to be around. I'm getting better. I have gotten better. But I also understand. I still have trouble with the cadence, I don't know when it's okay to start talking. And I don't know how to let people know that I'm still talking.
I struggle with that sometimes too.
So,
and in Hangouts, there's always this little bit of a delay, so it makes it even harder.
Right, and I actually said that to a guy who said it to me last night. I said, but you know about this delay, right? He said, yeah. I said, well, then wait. You know it. You're like trying to excuse yourself. I don't know. I guess I figure if you're aware of something, you should take it into consideration. I don't know. Maybe that's too much. Too much to expect. Oh, Gav left.
He said he'd be back, but it's hard to say.
Yeah.
When you're summoned by your wife, you never know.
Wife and kid thing, that's
Yep.
a real wild card. Who knows what'll happen? I'm all for it. Good for him.
Only the shadow knows. Okay.
You have a wife and kids?
No. No.
You're in my age group then? You are?
I'm 42, not about 40. I'm 42. Why was I going to say about? Oh, I'm about 42.
I'm about 10 years older than you because I'll be 53 next month, but I'm 40. I'm 52 now. Just curious. For some people, that means so much. You know, even a couple of years seems to mean the world. And for other people, you're probably fine at 16.
Oh man, I just keep thinking of how much I've changed over the years. Oh my God, just so much.
Yeah, I know I have. Do you believe in God?
No, I'm not. I'm an igtheist. I'm not really an atheist. I'm an igtheist, which means that I don't like to have discussions about whether or not a God exists if people can't even agree upon what a God could be. I'm also kind of a pantheist, so I kind of look at it as if we're going to use the word God, then I think God is almost is the universe itself. It's not a thing of some being that's sitting there watching and judging us. It's just it is the existence of everything. I guess in some ways you could view it almost like the Force, almost to some degree, you know. So, and it's not a solid belief. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. So,
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I am a Christian, and I believe in that God, the God of the Bible. I can see what you're saying. I did that too. I've done a lot of things. Anyway, there was something specific that you said that I was going to say something about, but of course.
something that watches and judges everything we do.
Judges, thank you. Yeah, he does, and he doesn't. At least my God. At the same time, he's aware, but he's willing not to punish. So, I don't know that judging is a good word, but I don't want to engage you on the subject either. You don't want to be, and I don't want to engage. I just wanted to know where you were.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, did I miss a juicy topic?
Not really. No. He just asked what my beliefs were. Do I believe in a God? And I said, well, I'm more of an igtheist and pantheist.
Right.
And he described that he believes in kind of the God of the Bible, but kind of loosely. It's not totally the strict interpretations that many other people have about it.
I do hold to a strict interpretation, but it's mine.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. I mean, my God is the same today, tomorrow, and yesterday. He's just.
It's not the strict interpretation that a lot of others hold.
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree in certain places, but I agree in what I consider the most important places.
Okay.
For instance, I wouldn't go into Nadia's room and just because you know, she. What? I always hate doing that. She. Yes, she. Anyway, just because she has this going on, I have spent hours in her rooms before trying to just listen to her, be nice to her. I mean, that I think is what we're called to do, but it's what I like to do. It's what makes me feel like, you know, I'm making the world a little better.
The way I look at it when it comes to a lot of these religious, like when people say, oh, the great debate, I kind of look at it as,
right out of that.
yeah, I'm just like, it's pointless to, I mean, unless someone is truly trying to search themselves or search their views for truly a different perspective, those discussions just seem like a bunch of arguing for the sake of arguing, you know?
Right.
Someone actually has to be open to have those kinds of discussions in a way that anyone's actually going to learn anything from. And most of the time in those discussions, nobody's really open.
No, I actually posted that in a post when they posted that this thing was coming. I said, well, you can forget me. You don't want to learn what I have to say, and I don't want to learn what you have to say. Well, that's not exactly true, but that was the easiest way to put it. I think I said, I have nothing that will convince you, and you have nothing that will convince me, so why bother? I'd rather talk to you about the weather in your area.
Yeah, I mean, just whatever other subjects. People are not going to change other people's minds in those types of hangouts. I mean, and it gets so heated sometimes, too. People get so angry at each other, and it's just like, well, I mean, I used to be involved in them. I used to go to them, and then I just kind of realized, well, what's the point of this? What? And I just stopped going. Yeah. Because I mean, I'm not trying to make other people mad. That's not my goal. That's not going to help anything.
Exactly. I'm not here to make you angry. I'm not here to tick you off. That's better. Sorry. Just having a cottonmouth thing.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'm back now. Yeah, but I completely agree with you, and I've had this argument with fellow Christians. I've said, you know, this is pointless. You're not going to convince any of them, and they're not going to convince you, I would say. I don't know for a fact, but in the end, people, they tell me, but I don't know that everybody in the world who might see it might not be saved. That's, you know, you're right. You don't know. I guess if you truly feel that in your heart, then what you're doing is important. I don't agree, is all I will say. Don't agree. Then for that great debate thing, they send me a link. Okay, you're up. And I said, I'm up? What are you, deaf? I said, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to show up. And I didn't. I think they had a room full of atheists. And they just needed one of us to beat up on. Yeah, I don't get it either, and I'm with you.
And another thing that always happens too is not always, but it often happens is a lot of the atheists will when they think of religion, they don't think of a wide spectrum of religions. They just are thinking of Abrahamic religions.
Right.
And so paganism, Buddhism, Hinduism, a whole slew of different types of beliefs they never even consider. And so everything is trying to bash religion in general, even though all they're talking about is Abrahamic religions. And that's kind of weird, too.
It is. It is. I've heard their answer to that, too, but I think it's a bunch of crap. They tell me that it's because your religions are the one that have influenced all these laws we hate. I said, you mean like do not murder?
What was your last phrase?
I said, yeah, all those laws like do not murder. That's a bad law. You know, that's their main problem is that we have influenced all these laws and put our morality on everything as far as laws go. I said, you know, that may be true, but this is still a republic, and you still let it happen.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting that In God We Trust was not on. I mean, it started to get on some of our money in the late 1800s, and then in the 1950s during McCarthyism, In God We Trust got put on all the rest of our money, and it got added to the pledge. And that was a period where we were scared of communism, so everyone ratcheted up the religion, the Abrahamic religion, and which is rather interesting that ended up happening. But you know, there are in some of these discussions, you know, a lot of the atheists will say that there's nothing good about the some of the rules that are being shoved forth, even though I don't think we should have to look at it as rules, but nevertheless, some of the rules that are shoved forth are not necessarily bad. There are some that I do look at as negative, like stuff that's in Leviticus, but you know, as far as and things saying, oh, do not put any other god before me and stuff like that, but there's other things that just seem kind of common sense. It just has to do with, well, it's basically trying to tell people to think about how your actions affect other people, have a little bit of empathy.
Yes.
And what's sad is there are some Christians, some Bible-based belief system people who, instead of using their empathy, instead of thinking about how their actions affect others, there are some people who just look at it as a set of rules. And that's kind of sad, because I don't think that's the way that it was originally intended.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I think God explained it pretty well when he talked about the Good Samaritan. In response to who is my brother, the answer is your brother is everyone. Even if there are people you hate, they're your brother. Take care of them.
I wish more people were that way.
I do too. I really do. It makes me very sad. You know, this thing that just happened with the crane in Mecca. Everybody is thinking that's such a cool thing. I said, but it sure sucked when they were dancing and singing when the Twin Towers came down, wasn't it? You hypocrites. We're better than that. No, it wasn't the same. It was just, I said, yeah, it's not the same in your head, and that's the problem. It should be same in your head. We don't dance and cheer and think it's great when people are hurt. We pray for them. And if we're able, we go there and help. Just don't get that. That's the Christ I learned from in the Bible. But yeah, it does bother me when people who claim Christianity act in general bad, really bad. Stuff like that, you know, enjoying other people's pain. That's just so wrong.
There are also, unfortunately, so many Abrahamic religious zealots that are part of the Republican Party who are trying to shove forth sets of rules onto people instead of, you know, and that's really, really unfortunate. And that's where most of people's anger stems from towards religion. Now, I mean, I personally have some things that like, when I was 8, I got raped at a church that I went to for a year.
I'm sorry.
And
I am so sorry.
And then one of the churches I went to were teaching things like, well, to even think something sinful is a sin. And I have an active imagination. I'm a creative person. That, like, destroyed me. It destroyed me most of my adult life.
Yeah, but it is true. But the thing to understand is that even though I'm the same way, my mind, when I wake up, it's on, and it doesn't go off until something like an hour or 2 or 3 after I go to sleep. Okay? I'm just buzzing along all the time. And no, I'm not high, or, you know, it's just how I've always been. So yeah, when I first heard that, I was a little sad, scared. But God also will forgive you all of that. All of it.
But for some things that is deemed as a sin, other people don't think is a sin. Like my desires that I act upon because I'm bisexual. I don't think it's a sin. So I don't think I have anything that needs to be forgiven for.
Okay, on that I would have to say that is something that once you have given your heart to Jesus completely, you know in your heart that it's done. And I'll never know that for you. In fact, you may not. It takes a while for it all to happen. That is a sin. However, even that is forgivable. The only thing that God will not forgive you for is not accepting Jesus as your Savior. That's the only unforgivable sin. That's it. The rest of them, forgiven.
Yeah, for me though, the Jesus thing, even though I was raised Christian, the Jesus thing never made any sense for me.
Okay.
So it was always kind of like someone gave an example of this. Well, I'll hit myself in the foot for your mortgage, you know, kind of thing. It's like the concept never made sense to me. So all I had when I was growing up was this idea that if I do any sort of sin at all, that I'll burn in hell for eternity. And that's what I grew up with, because I never connected with the Jesus thing. It never made sense then. It still doesn't make sense to me now.
Okay.
So, and so, you know, that's another reason why, you know, my viewpoint was always more of like a Judaism, or even something that would be more like Islam or something like that. You know, that's kind of the only way that I was able to connect with it. And that's another reason why I can't. I've had to disconnect from that method, that viewpoint of what a god is. I've had to just totally, toss that aside and get my own sense of that. And that's why I have the beliefs I do.
Okay. Would you accept someone showing you why it had to be him?
I've had a number of people try to show me, and it's just the concept just never makes any sense to me. It just, like I said, it's like the same thing. Hey, Tommy, it's like the same thing. Like I said, as someone saying, "Oh, I hit myself on the foot for your mortgage."
That's what I'm trying to get to. That is not at all the same. Not at all. That is not at all the case. And I would give you more information, but
I mean, the other side of it is it's also kind of like a human sacrifice. God made himself human, and now he does a human sacrifice, and then that's supposed to be...
And I can explain that too, but it's okay. If you don't want the information, I won't send it. I'm not pushy at all.
Okay. I was just saying that these are the reasons why, for me, it never made sense and why I was never able to connect with it. I'm not saying that there isn't a different reason why people believe. I'm just saying those are my personal reasons why I was not able to ever connect with those concepts. So
I am completely understanding what you are saying, and from that complete understanding of what you're saying, am saying that I had a lot of the same thoughts, and these are the things that convinced me, but if you do not want them, I will not send them.
Okay, thank you.
Fair enough. That's really all I said. You don't need to ask me and ask me and ask me. I already said, sure, no worries.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Bah!
What?
Oh, it's the sheep, Tommy.
Bah!
What's up, Tommy?
Oh, as ambassador of Christ Jesus himself, I say, bah! And also 2 partridges in a pear tree. Yes.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
He was giving you 2.
Day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
A cartridge for Atari. Okay. Sorry.
See.
I love Christmas music.
Wahoo dore, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah.
Is that an actual song outside of a Grinch Stole Christmas?
No.
Okay.
Beautiful though. To see those little Grinches open up that hat, when
They
it
were
comes
who's.
out, that thing.
They were little who's. They were little who's.
Oh, that was
Welcome, Christmas Day. Wahoo dore, wahoo dore. Welcome, Christmas. Welcome, wahoo dore. I love that film.
Man. When that heart says boing.
Mm-hmm.
His heart, the Grinch is very hard. Boing! That was great.
So, Tommy, are you going to scream and shout and let out the hate?
I am so sorry. Your wondrous words were obscured by that echo. What was that?
Here you have it, though. Okay, thanks. Are you going to scream and shout and let out all the hate?
Scream, shout, and let the hate out. I could put that on the itinerary if you really want. Tell you what, I'm just going to rage quit and go get some cigarettes. Praise.
Are you going to go on a pilgrimage?
No, it's not a pilgrimage. This is a journey.
I may have to go on a pilgrimage or a journey too. I'm about out.
Damn it, I hate that.
Me too.
And myself, I'm about to go get some food. So.
Yes. I'm going to go get beautiful for my cuddle buddy.
Oh, so it's over now?
Yeah, it's over.
All right.
In conclusion,
If you want, well, I guess I was going to say, if you want to hang around, Tommy, we can use the room.
Oh, Tommy left.
He's gone.
I said I was going to say, but I said it anyway, so I guess I did say it. Cheers.
Hey, catch you later, everyone.
Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Sure
Bye.
thing.